What's going on, guys? Good evening. It is Friday night, and welcome to another edition of Stateside Footy. It is the pre-match build-up for tomorrow afternoon's match against Dermanshaft. It is a massive, massive opportunity for the U.S. men's national team to lay down a very big marker ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Of course, tomorrow is the send-off. The final send-off, and in a match where, against an opponent that historically we know very well, and of course we have ties to the German national team too through through Jurgen Klinsmann, our former national team head coach. And so tomorrow is tomorrow is exactly the type of opponent we want to see. And of course, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Germany, and we're going to talk about just exactly what we are going to see. We're going to talk about what we are going to see from Mauricio Pochettino as far as what a lineup we're going to see tomorrow. But before we begin, please do me a favor and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell as well too. We are just a few shy of 500, and I would obviously like to get there before the start of the World Cup. So please, man, hook a brother up and make sure that you support this channel. It is growing it's been growing exponentially. So I do want to say thank you for that. And of course, if you're tuning in tonight on TikTok Live, the link is in the bio. So if you want to head over to YouTube, man, all you have to do is hit that button. It's totally free. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Because like I said at the top of the show just a few seconds ago, Germany is kind of an interesting team. And of course, the last two World Cups, they didn't get out of the group stage, and a lot of it had to do with an aging cast of characters in 2018. And of course, the last time Germany was back in 2014 as they hosted the World Cup back then. And of course, historically, Germany has been a power, developing world-class players at an exponential rate. But for whatever reason, over the course of the last 10 years, Dermanshaft just has not really been it. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they just have not been able to develop those type of players at the same rate as what we're used to seeing Germany develop those players. And because of it, there's been an over-reliance on older guys or guys who probably shouldn't have gotten the call up to begin with in the first place. Of course, once in 2018, going out in the group stage, and of course 2022 under Hansi Flick. Again, just having a complete meltdown. So coming into World Cup 2026, and of course, when we talk about that, we're talking about the UEFA World Cup qualifying. It's kind of interesting when I look at this team in abstract, because the last 5 matches they were played, they were all against teams that were outside of the FIFA Top 25. The FIFA Top 15, because they did play a Switzerland team who is ranked 19. But the reality is simple. The last match they played in, outside of World Cup qualifying before we got into these friendlies, was a 4-0 win over Finland. Of course, they're the 75th ranked team in the world. They beat Ghana 2-1. They are the 73rd team in the world. They did beat Switzerland, a very good, a very solid European team. They did that one 4-3. They are ranked 19th in the world. And then they absolutely dusted Slovakia 6-0. They're the 48th ranked team in the world. And then, of course, they beat Luxembourg 2-0. And they're the 98th team in the world. And so when you have that type of schedule, these are the type of teams you would expect a team like Germany to take care of. And of course, they go 5-0 in those 5 games, 18 goals to the good, only 4 conceded. How you doing, Oscar? Hello from Barcelona. It's good to see you, man. That's very cool. Let's see. Ojade is greetings from Turkey. Listen, that's this group is going to be fantastic, and I wish you guys the best of luck in World Cup 2026. And then, of course, we have the matches with inside the top 10, top 15. And, of course, these matches were played in 2025. And we start with a 2-0 loss, a 2-0 loss to France. Obviously, they are the third-ranked team in the world. They lost 2-1 to Portugal. They drew 3-3 with Italy. They did beat the Netherlands 1-0, but on the replay, they drew 2-2, and they lost to Spain 2-1. So within these groups of teams that they're supposed to be competitive with, teams that they're going to have to beat if they want to advance in the World Cup, teams that historically they fared well with, especially in pivotal knockout rounds within World Cups of past. This is a German team that knows how to win these type of games, but unfortunately, they just are not up to that level. They go 1-3-2 or 1-2-3, whichever way you want to call it, against the upper echelon in international football, only scoring 8 goals for and 11 conceded. And so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to see where Germany really is over the course of the last year and a half, where they have no problems. They have absolutely no problem handling the business that they absolutely need to handle against teams that they absolutely know that they're better in, but against some of the world's best. And of course, Germany considers itself among the world's best. They absolutely cannot handle it. And unfortunately, against a team like Italy, to get a 3-3 draw is absolutely uncalled for. And yes, they did beat the Netherlands, but on the replay they draw with them. They're unable to double that one up. And then of course losing to Portugal, France, and Spain, not really competitive in those matches, regardless of what the scoreline will tell you. Lets you know exactly where they are currently as they head into World Cup 2026. When you're looking at the stats of this stats through World Cup qualification in UEFA, their top scorer was Nick Woltemade, who obviously plays with Newcastle. He tops it out at 3. Tops out at 4. Serge Gnabry with 3, and Leroy Sané with 2. It just goes to show you that as of right now, Germany still does have issues putting the ball in the back of the net in large clips. Florian Wirtz and David Raum and Leroy Sané both all tied at 2 when it comes to assists. Minutes played. Obviously, their goalkeeper tops their minute played. And really, when you see some of these teams statistics around UEFA, goals per match, Germany checked in at 2.7, which would finish 10th. Goals conceded, they did finish 0.05, which was good for 4th when it came to UEFA goals conceded, which is actually not too terribly bad. They finished 2nd in average possession, but they finished 8th in clean sheets. Let's see, expected goals, they finished 15.0, which is good for 18th. XG differential, 11.6, which was good for 11th. Shots on target per match, 6.2, is only good for 14th. Only 25 big chances throughout World Cup qualifying, which is good for 18th. Big chances missed, they missed 12, which is good for 19th. Accurate passes per match, they were actually a very good possession-based team. We're able to pass the ball pretty well. 615.8 per match, which is good for 4th. Accurate long balls, 22.0 per match, which was good for 33. Accurate crosses per match, 5, which was good for 18th. And so from that standpoint, you kind of look at, and here's even a bigger one. Touches inside the box, 217, which is good for 18th. And 35 corners, which is good for 25th. And so from that standpoint, you can understand exactly where this team's weaknesses still reside. Let's see. Ignatius Achamong says, please, tomorrow I want to watch the live match on phone, please, and every World Cup match on my phone. Okay. Then go ahead and watch it on your phone, buddy. I'm not going to stop you. Let's see. I believe in our great America squared in this World Cup. I've watched yesterday Côte d'Ivoire in France, but great America is right way. Just a small mistakes we corrected. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And hopefully we will see those mistakes corrected. Now, for Germany, let's go ahead and take a look at my projected lineup from Julian Nagelsmann. And this seems to be something that is pretty. It's through World Cup qualifying and some of their the friendlies. This kind of seemed to be the lineup that Julian Nagelsmann seemed to prefer. Although there could be some switches. But Baumann is going to be in net, and I believe he plays for Hoffenheim. Joshua Kimmich and Rom will be the outside backs with Nico Schlotterbeck and Jonathan Tah as their center back pairing. A midfield double pivot of Leon Goretzka and I think it's Grobe as the double pivot. An attacking four with Florian Wirtz. Shaded out to the left, but Florian Wirtz obviously is probably going to be an inverted 10 along with Serge Gnabry. Leroy Sané off the right-hand side and Nick Voltemata up top. And, when you look at this and you see some of the names that, Germany will throw at you moving forward, and it's like, yeah, that this is a team that does control the ball incredibly well. The problem with it is their ability to consistently get forward and get into the box, their ability to continue to ping balls into the box, and then also their strike rate, and their ability to consistently put balls on target and really challenge defenses. And also they're susceptible to counterattacking situations, but also when they do lose the ball, whether it be susceptible to traps along the touchlines or just through the middle of the park, teams do have the ability not only to hold possession, but also on counterattacking, come down and score. And so this team is and has been susceptible to vulnerabilities, but also they are prone to very close games against teams that are equal to or even better. This team just really hasn't really shown a tenacity to put teams to the sword unless they are like ranked 50 or worse in the world. And so from that standpoint, it feels like Germany still has the same issues that they had in World Cup 2022. And it wouldn't surprise me if this team does, come up with a loss, potentially even in a group play, or if they do advance, going out early in the knockout rounds. It just feels to me that Germany, as of right now, is kind of a shot fighter. And it just is what it is. Now, granted, but here's the weird part. They still have the talent where if they do figure out a way to put it together, and of course, they are very well coached with Julian Nagelsmann, that they also could, lay down a marker and go on a deep run as well, too. Like, this is the weird thing about Germany is they have problems and they can be exploited, but they're also Germany. And given the right set of circumstances, they can also play incredibly good football. So this is a very good test for the U.S. men's national team tomorrow. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Mauricio Pochettino is going to set up. Let's see. We have Bedweir. Are you watching Canada, Ireland? Possibly. Let's see. Yeah, and then of course there's also now Nair in goal, Pavlovic and Mcheka double pivot. Yeah, Havertz on top. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they also play Kai Havertz up top as well too. It's interesting though that it wouldn't surprise me if Voltemata played as well too. As a Middlesbrough and fan, what do you think of not picking Aidan Morris? That is a very good question. Aidan Morris potentially should have been on this roster. But again, Aidan Morris also wasn't exactly lighting on fire when he was wearing a U.S. shirt. Anthony Robinson is a good player. Yes, he is a good player. What do you make of Spain drawing with Iraq? It's a friendly, but still, yeah. But the interesting thing, I'd be curious to see if Spain was playing at full strength or if they were rotating. Let's come up with a better chant. That's pretty funny. What do you think? What do you think wins it? For me, it's England. By the way, I have England in the final. I really do. I think England. I don't think anybody beats France, but I think England has good balance on their roster, and I still think that team from front to back is capable of doing some very good things in this tournament. I think they're set up pretty well for tournament play. Whether or not they win it is a different story. Yeah. Whether they can actually win it when it counts, that's a different story. Because they've been in a couple finals and they weren't able to do it. Let's see. France versus the Ivory Coast was an interesting match. Both played their starting teams, yet France lost. Yeah, I'm glad Morris didn't get picked. He needs a rest, but he will still go for 20 to 30 million pounds if Burrow doesn't go up. Yeah. Let's see. Are you delusional or understand that the U.S. is awful? Well, it doesn't really matter. Chances are you're European, right? I would probably assume older pie face. That's kind of funny. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the U.S. men's national team because it's going to be interesting to see exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, my intuition is to say that at least in the first half, we are going to again see the names that I would assume that most people are going to want to see. Now, again, Mauricio Pochettino has probably taken the entire roster. We will probably be in a situation where we will have heavy rotation. Because again, I think really at this stage, it's all about developing partnerships. I think this is about getting players minutes. 100% European, but can't stand American people that think Pulisic is world class. Well, he's a top 100 player in the world. Mikey. All right. And let's see. So this is my projected lineup for the U.S. men's national team tomorrow. We saw Matt Turner in goal against Senegal, and in this one, I do have Matt Freese starting. And I think this is par for the course because we saw this in the last window where Matt Turner started against Belgium, and then Matt Freese came in that second game against Portugal. Again, I think that these two are in a. I think this is really the position battle here. And what's funny about this, because if Matt Freese was really the clear-cut number one at this stage, we would see a lot of Matt Freese. And yet, two of the last three, we've seen Turner start. And I get the impression that maybe this coaching staff is kind of leaning in that direction. But that being said, when we do see Freese play, he's actually been quite solid. And so maybe this is just a situation where they want to make sure that 1 and 2 have the appropriate minutes heading into the World Cup, which I guess I'm kind of fine with. It doesn't bug me one way or another. But my guess is that Matt Freese will be in net to start tomorrow. A back three of Alex Freeman. I can't imagine it's going to be Miles Robinson, and of course with Chris Richards, who will not. I would highly doubt that he's not playing tomorrow. I don't think he is playing tomorrow. I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to hold him for Paraguay. And so this is going to be yet another opportunity for Alex Freeman to grab minutes in this right center back position. And it makes 100% sense considering that Freeman played an exceptional game against Senegal this last weekend. So it makes perfect sense. Mark McKenzie in the central position, in the back three. And then I have Austin Trusty starting on the left-hand side because it's an opportunity to rotate at the left center back position. You're going to need Austin Trusty to play. You're going to need him to get some minutes heading into this one. And this would be a perfect opportunity to give a little bit of a breather to Tim Ream, who I believe played a large portion of that match against Senegal. So from that standpoint, you kind of want to see Austin Trusty get some minutes, and I think this would be a very good opportunity to do it in a back line that's actually pretty strong. And this is a good test for a guy like Austin Trusty. That back three is actually not too terrible. Midfield 4, Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest again will start on the outside because I would probably assume that Mauricio Pochettino again is going to want to start this one off strong. And we saw exactly what happened in the first 15 minutes against Senegal with the 1-2 passing between Pulisic and Robinson down that left-hand side. It seemed to do pretty well starting off that match. So I would probably assume that Jedi will start this one, but again, I would probably assume that we're going to see Arvston potentially play in that second half. Tyler Adams, and I guess you can call it my double pivot, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie, and I think this would be a good time for Wes and Tyler to develop something. And again, you want West to start this one because it's not just about minutes. It's also trying to figure out exactly the configuration of what your starting 11 is going to look like. Is this going to be a situation where you're going to have Wes and Tillman on the pitch at the same time? And if that is, which one is going to be essentially going to be better for this position? And again, you can still have Wes going forward. He still gives you the opportunity in that central area to progress the ball forward and still be able to crash the box as essentially a third center attacker from that position if you need him to play that position. So what I will say is I think that Weston McKennie is probably going to be starting in this position tomorrow. Underneath with Christian Pulisic and Malik Tillman, I think this is a great opportunity for Malik to get a start. We saw him in the second half against Senegal, and I thought he played pretty well. And now this is an opportunity, to grab the 45 from the start, and again to develop that chemistry along with Christian Pulisic. Now, what I will say is when we saw Gio Reyna start in this position against Senegal, it didn't necessarily look all that great. Now, again, it's not because Gio Reyna is terrible, but you probably it was going to be interesting to see if that combination was going to start out quick. And we saw that it was between Serginho Dest and Christian Pulisic, it actually did start off very quickly. But Gio Reyna took some time to get into that game, and it almost seemed at certain points in that first half, he almost seemed a little invisible. And as soon as Malik Tillman came on in that second half, he was pretty much everywhere. So this would be a good opportunity to get Malik Tillman in the beginning of the game. And again, you would probably expect Mauricio Pochettino to attack this team early and often and, potentially put themselves in a position where they can go into the half up two and really force the issue with Germany. Me personally, I think that's the only way you're going to be able to beat Germany is if you do it early and dare them to get forward and dare them to score goals on you. And then up top, Flo Balogun, we saw Ricardo Pepi the last time out, and we saw what Ricardo Pepi was able to provide. And I thought he was phenomenal. Ricardo Pepi showed us just exactly what he's able to do. And he was in behind, Senegal's back line more oftentimes than not. He was not afraid to challenge defenders and progressively dribble the ball up the, drop deep, make a touch, and then off the half turn, progressively make those dribbles forward and play balls forward. And of course, that's how we found Christian Pulisic. And of course, Pooley put the ball in the back. And that was a beautiful goal. This time around, Flo Balogun probably should have had a 2 in the second half, gets 1 chalked off, but he does get the winner. And again, this is just the reverse. You're going to want to start Flo Balogun this time around. And maybe this is an opportunity in the second half where you bring on Haji Wright. This is an opportunity for him to get minutes. Same thing with Brendan Aronson, who didn't feature in the last match. And so this is going to be an opportunity where we're going to see, I guess you can say, the configuration that I think a lot of fans want to see, but also the rotation as well too, because I like the rotation in an extent because I think it's going to make sure everybody's match sharp. But also, we're going to get an idea of just what this starting 11 is going to look like come game 1 against Paraguay next week. So this is the starting 11 that I think I'm going to go with. Let's see. What do you think about the Switzerland team? I actually like Switzerland. I think they are just a solid European team that on their day that can, they can beat good teams. I'm Mexican, and I hope the U.S. does good in the World Cup. Well, I appreciate it, sir. Yeah. I like Mexico too. Let me rephrase that. I tolerate Mexico. What I will say is that the Mexican roster is talented, but compared to the Mexican teams from their heyday, this one doesn't even remotely come close. Is it capable? Sure. But they're young in certain positions. They're old in positions where you kind of don't really want them to be old. And so it's going to be interesting to see what this team looks like against teams that are equal to or better. I don't think we're going to see that in the group stages, but one of the things that they don't have is a Hugo Sanchez or a Rafa Marquez. They don't have a Negrete or an Amador. They don't have a Chicharito or a Luis Hernandez or a Ramon Morales. Like, they don't have those generational type players that they used to be able to develop. And, every single 4 years they would come into a World Cup and, they would have strong rosters. Yeah, like Mexico does underachieve in the World Cup. But, when it comes to continental rivalry with the United States, it's like, it was always a good rivalry. It just seems like over the last 5 years, Mexico just has not been as strong as you expect them to be, and I have theories on it. But that being said, I would like to, I hope that Mexico. I think Mexico does a very. I hope they do right by their fans in the Estadio Azteca. That's what I'd like to see. Let's see. I think our team confident and unity must be more. Yeah, I guess so. Nateski 75. It's in the house, man. RIFC TID, man. Rhode Island FC. That's my guy, Nate. It's not our best team, but the thing is, there are so many low-level teams in this tournament. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Mexico's group, outside of Czechia, I think they're going to be able to handle South Korea and South Africa. It's kind of a weak group. Let's see. You shouldn't fly a flag inside. If you were to fly, dude, whatever, man. Whatever. What do I think of Scotland? Listen, man. Listen, the Tartan Army, baby. Let's go, Scotland. I'm rooting for you guys. Scotland's my guilty pleasure in this upcoming World Cup. Gotta love Mr. McTominay. You gotta love it. But yeah, I think this is going, like, when I think about this match is the perfect opportunity for the U.S. because the whole goal. Okay, let me back this up. Okay, and I just want to say that when this group of players by and large qualified for World Cup 2022, I think the thought among those reasonable U.S. fans were like, just a boon, just a boon to get qualified because they only qualified on goal differential. Now, qualifying is qualifying, and so you're going to take it, and it is what it is. But I think when we got the group, in 2022, and it was Wales, and it was England, and it was Iran. I think a lot of American fans were looking at this like, okay, cool. Like if we can pick up a win or a draw, and we can be in a position to move on to the knockout rounds, okay, that's great. And if we do, that's fantastic. But I think when you consider where this national team was, I don't think a lot of U.S. fans were looking at this like, okay, cool. Like we're going to be in a position where we're going to advance past the round of 16. I don't think anybody was really looking at that. And I think these 4 years leading into this World Cup was like, what does this group have to do to better where they left off 4 years ago? And this team not only knows how to qualify, but this team also knows how to get out of the group. And now it is beating a top 15 team when it matters, because we can do it in friendlies to an extent. We still haven't really done it to a top 15 European team since God knows when. I guess if you really want to go back, it's like 2009 in Confederations Cup when we beat Spain. You get what I'm saying? So it's been quite a long time since we actually beat a team that was better than us in tournament play. And that Spain team was when Spain was Spain, and they had a 35 match unbeaten streak. And it's been sooner than that, I guess. Copa America, sure. We go to the semis in Copa America Centenario in 2016. I'm sure we beat a top 16 team out of CONCACAF, and we did it then. I'm sure we did. But the reality is, it's been a long time since we've done it. And so from that standpoint, the idea is that if we want to live up to the potential of what is our golden generation, it's going to require us to beat a Belgium when it matters. Beating, well, let's just take a look here. Yeah, beating Germany, beating a Netherlands side, potentially, a Colombia or a Uruguay or a Japan when it matters, a legit round of 16 opponent that'll allow you to carry that over to a quarterfinal. Like that is what this team needs to prove in this upcoming World Cup. And it really does start tomorrow against Germany, if you really think about it, because yes, Germany probably is suspect. Germany probably really is, because I don't care what anybody says. It's like you can't accurately tell what a national team is going to do when they're beating the shit out of Luxembourg and they're beating Finland. And yeah, like they beat Switzerland, but then they draw a bad Italy team. And then they don't look even remotely competitive against the world's best. And it's like, it's hard to really get a determination on what this team is, but it's Germany. And so because it's Germany, they have the reputation. They have the reputation of being among the world's best. And because they are a world champion, they're I think it was like a 3-4 time world champion, that goes along with the lineage. So from that standpoint, it's like, listen, tomorrow is incredibly important, because if we go out there and we control the match from the opening whistle and we score and we do exactly what we did against Senegal, we go into the half up 2-1, or we even go into the half up 2-0. And now all of a sudden, Germany is going to have to respond. They're going to be on the back. We're going to put them on the back foot, and we're daring them to come forward. We're going to be with the momentum, and who knows exactly what happens at that stage. If we do our job correctly and we come out the same way we came out against Senegal, What I will say is that it's going to tell us that we are capable. We are capable of, on our day, being able to beat a top 10 team. And I think a lot of U.S. men's national team fans are going to be looking at this and saying, okay, cool. That makes me feel a lot better. And by the way, it erases March. It erases Belgium and it erases Portugal. Coming back from that, and then you're like, okay, cool. You were able to beat what, number 14 Senegal and number 10 Germany. Yeah, man. I think it would be great. CO, no chance. England win. Let's see. Nah, England can win it. Come on, Seattle, fight and win. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. It looks like the TikTok live crew is fighting over England winning the World Cup. That's kind of funny. England's a very balanced team, by the way. I actually have them in the final. I think you're going to have a motivated Harry Kane to right the wrongs of 2022. And I think with Thomas Tuchel, who is a winner, I think he knows exactly. I think Thomas Tuchel knows exactly how to approach this tournament, and it's going to be interesting. Yeah, seriously, a motivated Harry Kane. And by the way, there's something to say about Harry Kane when he was with Spurs, chasing trophies, and Harry Kane at Bayern Munich when he's actually won trophies. It's going to be interesting to see. What version of Harry Kane is going to show up at the World Cup. But that being said, I actually like the England squad. Yeah, I don't know about that. Does Dest start for the U.S. men's national team? Yes, he does. Maybe. I actually think this England squad might be a little bit more balanced. Let's see. What do you think your players to look out for? Who do you think your players to look out for? Obviously, Christian. He's probably going to have a big summer. Weston McKennie is somebody that you should look out for. Best player in the Serie A in the second half of the season. Plays for Juventus, and he's absolutely been brilliant in the U.S. shirt. He's somebody that I think you should look out for. Both Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest as well too. Dest gets a goal gets a goal against Senegal. It's going to be interesting. What about Tyler Adams and Brendan Aronson? Tyler Adams is our starting DM, so Tyler is Tyler, and you're gonna get the very best of Tyler. It's going to be interesting about Brendan Aronson though, because didn't get on against Senegal. I think he's going to feature against Germany, but Brendan's going to play a pivotal role. I would assume, because that dude is absolute energy coming off the bench. Why would Tuchel pick Stones over Maguire? I'm assuming he's just a better fit. What about Pepe? Pepe played great against Senegal. He's going to play a huge role. Canada's beating Ireland. That's not shocking. Clearly, Spain is going to win it all, and Mexico is runner-up. Bet on it. Mexico getting to a final? Dude. Come on, man. Mexico getting to a final? Chris Richards is the best defender in this World Cup. I wouldn't go that far, but he is potentially one of the 10 best defenders in this World Cup. Yeah, maybe. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see if he's actually going to play, because that ankle injury might be something interesting. Let's see, Maguire. because Maguire is bigger than Stones could be crucial. Yeah, but is Stones better on the ball? For the way that Tuchel wants to play and the way that Tuchel builds out of the back, is Stones a better player than Maguire? In that regard, because that's probably one of the bigger reasons, right? Yeah. By the way, I mean, I can understand why English fans are a little upset by the squad selection, but that being said, it's always going to be an issue, right? Like, you're not the only nation that is kind of like up in arms about the squad selection. But that being said, it's like, when I think about the depth of England and I think about the strengths of what England is going to put out there, I look at that squad and I look at Thomas Tuchel and the way that he wants to play. That team fits perfectly what Thomas Tuchel is trying to achieve. Like this commenter here, D, says it's coming home. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if England won it. It wouldn't surprise me. The only issue that I have with England is that they have to get past France. And France is fucking crazy. That's a crazy deep team. That's a crazy deep team that's talented. That's my only issue. But again, if England gets to a final and plays France, that's going to be a hell of a match. That's going to be a hell of a match. Listen, I love the Scottish supporters in my chat here, man. I'm a big fan of the Scottish, of the Tartan Army, man. And by the way, man, I'm going to do some Scotland matches here on the channel as well too. Let's see. I'm from England and my country is not winning the World Cup. God damn it. My country is not winning the goddamn World Cup. It's like, I love English fans, man. I really do. It's going to be the U.S. versus Australia. Well, that's certainly going to be the second game of the group. Norway will knock out England in the round of 16, please, man. Norway, no chance Norway beats England. Well, and we'll be at the World Cup in 2030. You're Irish, yeah. You know what? Listen, man. Credit to Ireland, man. They got right down to the wire. Couldn't get it over the line, but they came up big. They came up big just to get to that playoff, man. So I got a soft spot for the Irish national team. All right, guys. So with Germany, I think the interesting thing with Pochettino is going to be the outside attack and the 1-2 play with both Tillman and Dest, and then also Jedi and Pulisic, and the way that those two moved against Senegal, and they moved it not just when it came to one-touch passing. It was the way that ball moved, and it was quick, it was efficient, and the thing that I liked about it was they took advantage of the fact that Senegal was just a step slower, and that ball goes forward, and it was either Jedi making a run or whether it was Christian Pulisic making a run. Now, here's the thing, though. The U.S. took the foot off the gas a little bit there in the first half. After they go up 2, they let Senegal back in, and then that space just wasn't there. And you can be rest assured that if the U.S. does that and rest on their laurels a little bit, Germany is going to get back into that game. And one of the things that Germany is very good, at the very least, is they're tactically sound. They don't make those type of mistakes. They don't get caught out. And so the U.S. are going to have to be very, very precise in their movements in order to catch Germany out. One of the good things that I like about the U.S. attack is the fact that they got speed. Flo Balogun, this actually has a potential to be a Flo Balogun special because of the way that he runs the channels and the way that he's able to get to his first touch if that ball is going up over the back line. And what I like about the configuration of this midfield with McKennie and with Adams is both of those guys can play balls forward from central areas, but also from the outside as well too, with Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson as well too, playing balls forward on either side. Barely know the rules of football or whatever, man. Oh, you Americans using the word soccer. It's an English word, asshole. Do you want me to give you the history on the word soccer? Because it was invented in England. It's all good, though. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's the U.S. World Cup shirt. So the interesting thing about it is that is the beneficial, that is what the U.S. has been built for this World Cup. 1863 when the FA was created. That's how soccer got its word, and it means association rules. So, like, I really don't want to get into this conversation, but it's funny because you got shows on TV called Soccer AM and Soccer Saturdays, right? So the only reason why you don't like the word soccer is because in the 1970s, it became popular in the United States and you didn't want any association with the United States. That's why you started referring it to more as football than soccer. But it's kind of funny though, right? You don't have a problem when Australians call it soccer or Canadians or South Africans, only when Americans call it soccer. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Do I think Pulisic is the LeBron of football? No, I think Pulisic is the Pulisic of football. So the interesting thing is that with tomorrow's match against Germany, what I want to see is the U.S. just lean into their strengths and just put their foot on the gas. What I really want to see them do is test Germany. I want to see what Germany looks like when they're under stress. Because one of the things you cannot do is just be comfortable with them having the ball. Because if you give Germany the ball, they're just going to hold on to it. Like, that's a team that actually is very good in possession. And one of the things you don't want to do is be forced into a position where you're running. I don't think that's going to do anything for this team. And so from that standpoint, it is being the aggressor from the off. And if you do that, there's a good chance that we come away with the win tomorrow. And so from that standpoint, it's going to be interesting to see, because if you ask me, I kind of feel like Germany is a little bit of a fraud. I really do. Like, Germany is not Germany. Like, it's not that Germany of the 1970s or of the 1980s or of the 90s. Like, it ain't that. It's not that Germany. It's not even the Germany from 2014. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how Mauricio Pochettino looks at this and decides exactly where their weak points are and where we're going to be able to exploit them. Because I have a feeling that we will. I love it. No, I just love it. I love it. You guys just have American envy. That's all. That's really what it comes down to. You guys want to be Americans. You guys want to be Americans so bad. So bad. All right. So tell me how you guys feel about tomorrow. Because I actually think that the U.S. are going to win tomorrow. I have a feeling that it's probably going to be somewhere in that 3-2 range. 2-1, 3-2. Even if it ends like 2-2, I think I would be all right with it. As long as we're able to establish, at least for some period of that game, where we dominate a little bit, where we're able to play the game that, we set out to do, I think I'd be all right. Balogun's going to go back to the Premier League after this World Cup. Who do you think is better, the U.S. or Mexico? Please, man. Please. Yep, but I actually do think I think the U.S. win tomorrow. Listen, man, we're on home soil. Get used to it. Get used to it, dude. So I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win, and of course, tomorrow's live stream will be here on the channel, and of course, I will be live streaming to all my friends on TikTok. Oh, you know who you are. You know who you are. You guys love just to come on to the live stream just so you guys think you guys can dunk on me. It's so great. It's so great. Ooh, let's see. How do I think Scotland's going to do? I like that. I hope Scotland get out of the group. Voltamata's not even good enough to play for Newcastle, and Newcastle kind of sucks. Leave your guys' comment in the chat. And yeah, listen, the U.S. will win tomorrow. They will. So that's going to do it for me, guys. This was actually really fun, and I love all my European friends, man. I really do. You guys are the best, man, especially the Tartan Army. Up to Scotland. Javier Mendoza real quick says, did you hear the Paraguay player getting hurt? I did not. Let me know who that is in the chat. And by the way, Paraguay is going to be – Paraguay and Australia are the bunkering kings. It's going to be interesting to see in the World Cup if we're able to break those two teams down, because they're going to be playing with 10 men behind the ball. But all right, guys, you guys take care. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, really? And CISO, huh? Ugh. I don't like that at all. I will see you guys tomorrow for US versus Germany on the live stream as well too, and then of course we will be back next week as well too, as we count down to US versus Paraguay as we get started for the start of World Cup 2026. And of course, this is your home for World Cup 2026, not just the US men's national team, but also live streams for England and Scotland, and maybe the Netherlands, because I'm kind of partial to the Netherlands. So there's going to be a few different national teams that I will cover. Am I going to cover Mexico? Maybe not. Will I cover Canada? You never know. And listen, when the U.S. top the group, man, you guys can apologize, because it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny to see you guys with your tears. Take care, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. See you then. Take care, guys. Bye.
Rusted goalposts under fading skies, tattered flags waving dreams in our eyes. The crowds roar like a storm on the wind. We're the underdogs fighting again. I believe that we will win. Through the sweat and the fire within, we rise up when the skies grow dim. I believe that we will lion in the sun.